automate. So normally going to be discussed like what is the basically the automation is, what is the Power Platform, what about the low code tools. So let me share my screen. Okay. Is my screen is visible to all of you?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So let's start with about the transformation and the business operation and how that Power Automate is going to be helps us in our businesses. So first of all, just a bit of introductions. I have experience of the RPA. So I used to work in the RPA approximate 3 years, and then I start working as a trainer and the lecturer in UK right now. Mostly my background is related to the automations and the multiple type of the local tools that I used to work in the multiple industries. Okay, let's start with the automation, like basically what is the automation is and why we are going to use and which industries we need to use this one. If I'm going to talk about any type of the like daily works and every day that we are going to do, even our online shopping, our mobile banking, even in the finance, there's a lot of the invoices and the repetitions works happening. So for that all type of the things that we are going to normally do the manually, even most probably the admin work, all the things are going to do the manually. Just to automate all these things, we normally use the automations. So sometimes we for the automation we use the Python, .NET, and these type of the languages. But on the other hand side, if I'm talk about the industries, they normally focus on the RPA and the Power Platform instead of the .NET and the Power Automate. So if I'm going to talk about multiple examples, even in the finance, we have the invoices that we need to process with them on the daily basis. We need to copy paste the data, paste that in the Excel sheets, and then upload that on their CRMs and the multiple type of the SAPs. So this is the repetitions work, and for that work we need to hire a lot of the manpower. Like we have to hire a lot of the employees. Just to reduce that manpower, just to reduce that extra expense, we prefer to use the automations that helps us to reduce our expense. And even if I'm going to talk about the human, as a human, if I'm going to do anything, sometimes we have a human errors as well. So as a human, it's not possible like I'm going to do all the things at the correct way. Maybe we have any type of the human errors, maybe we have the process delays, and maybe there's any type of the delays in our deadlines. And suppose if we are going to do as a repetition task, that will be also stressful for us. Like this is complete the repetitions and we need to do that thing again and again. That's why we prefer to use the automation, just to reduce all these things. So I hope this is clear, like why we need automations and what is basically the automation is. So let's start with the Power Automate. So if I'm going to talk about like what is the Power Automate, so this is not any of the programming language. This is a Microsoft tool. This one is one of the low-code tools that helps us to connect us with multiple type of the apps. So there's a one more point अगर मैं आप लोगों को बताऊं regarding the automation. So automation में हमारे पास सिर्फ ये नहीं है कि हम multiple applications को आपस में contact कर रहे हैं, ये link कर रहे हैं. It's possible कि हमारे पास जो सी desktop automations होती हैं, like inside my complete desktop, I just need to copy paste my documents in one of the folder, delete from the one of the folder, move that from the multiple folders. So this one is possible as well. So automations में हमारे पास desktop automations होती हैं and the cloud automations होती हैं. कुछ में हम लोग multiple applications को आपस में contact कर देते हैं या उनके connections बना देते हैं. On the other hand side, if there is anything on our complete desktop, तो हम लोग desktop पे ही simple automate कर देते हैं उन tasks को. So if I'm going to talk about the Power Automate, this one is mostly the Microsoft tool. So इसके अंदर normally Microsoft की जो applications and like the Outlook, their own SharePoint, Teams, all these things are going to be automate. And if possible, we are also going to be connect all of them to automate anything that you need. As I always told you, this one is not any type of the coding. This one is not any type of the programming. So this is the low code tool, like no coding needed. We are just going to drag and drop multiple type of the activities and the multiple type of the triggers. And according to that, we just make our connections. And inside that, we will work with multiple type of the applications and even web scraping. If we have the multiple websites and we want to scrap a data from that websites, we also use these type of the Power Automate and the multiple tools. and run itself. So suppose मैंने एक automation complete develop कर दिया है, but अब वो run कैसे करेगी? क्या मुझे खुद ही उसे play करना पड़ेगा बार बार, या वो automatically run करेगी? तो इसमें है कि हमारे पास ट्रिगर्स होते हैं कि हम लोग ट्रिगर डिफाइन कर देते हैं. सपोज मेरा एक सिनेरियो है कि मेरे पास ईमेल्स जो जो आती हैं वो ऑटोमेटिकली एक शेयर पॉइंट फोल्डर में सेव हो जाए. तो इसका ट्रिगर मेरे पास ये होगा सिंपली कि जब भी कोई न्यू ईमेल आएगी, ऑटोमेशन जो ऑटोमेटिकली उस ईमेल को चेक करेगा कि उसमें कोई ईमेल आई है विद एनी टाइप ऑफ द अटैचमेंट. अगर उसमें कोई अटैचमेंट है वो ऑटोमेटिकली मेरे स्पेसिफिक जो शेयर पॉइंट है उसमें सेव हो जाएगा. सो मुझे यहाँ कुछ भी खुद रन करने की जरूरत नहीं है. वी जस्ट डिफाइन द मल्टीपल टाइप ऑफ द ट्रिगर्स एंड बेस्ड ऑन दैट ट्रिगर्स दे विल ऑटोमेटिकली रन फॉर आवर स्पेसिफिक टास्क. Okay, just let me move the next one. So this one is already done, like why we need the automations just to reduce all the things. So these are some type of the blocks in our Power Automate, like how we are going to build that. We have the triggers, like when to start. So we just define the multiple triggers, and for each flow we have the different triggers. There are a lot of the options that we can use. Then actions, like what we need to do. As I just give you the example, I need to save attachment inside my OneDrive and the SharePoint. So this is my action that I need to perform. So for the connector, because my scenario is email and then the SharePoint, so I'm just going to connect the Outlook and the SharePoint. So after the connection, they will simply work according to that. And then if I'm talk about the flow is the complete sequence that we are going to define, like how that need to be worked and how that needs to be the run, like the complete structure step by step. Like this is my first step, the second step, and the third step. Okay, the next one, as I already told you, like we have the desktop one, we have the cloud one. So we have the different type of the flows. Firstly is simply the cloud. Inside the cloud, if we need to connect any type of the online applications, like the Teams, Outlook, the SharePoints, so on, like whatever do we have as an online applications, and if we need to connect them, we are going to use the cloud flow. On the other hand side, if we need to do anything on our websites, like if we need to click on any button, use our keyboards, all these things are done by the desktop flow. So all these type of the automations and the desktop one, we have the desktop flow and the desktop automation as well. Then we have the business process. Business process is about, like if we have the multiple type of the stages process that we need to required with the specific guideline. So in this one, we just define the complete structure. Like if we are working on the approval process and any other process, we have the some business rules and regulations. Based on that rules and regulations, we are going to take the decision, like what I need to do and when I need to approve that specific task and anything that we have. So this one is the approval based on our complete guideline and the instructions. So these are some applications, like we have the 1,000+ connectors as well, but these are the some applications that I'm going to show you. We have the Outlook, we have the Teams, SharePoints, Outlook, on OneDrive, Excel one, forms and the approval, different type of the planners, if we have some type of the SMS and the SQL servers. So these are all the connectors that we can use when we need to work any type of the automations. Okay, if we talk about the real-time case studies, like we are done with the automation, like what is the automation? It's just to remove the manual task. We are done with the Microsoft tool, like this is the local tool of the Microsoft, like the Power Automate, but where I need to use it. So first one is the HR. Inside the HR, we have the multiple type, like they need to manage the emails, they need to manage any type of the notifications, hire the employees, like there's any type of the repetition task, manage the multiple type of the Excel sheets. So all these onboarding process is going to be the repetition. Like all these things are repeated. They are going to send email based on the some decisions and the scenarios. So we are able to use that inside the HR department. In finance, so inside the finance, they have the multiple type of the invoices, they have the different type of the like a data scrapping, and they have to paste all the things according to their case studies and the scenarios on their own portals and make the separate profile for each person's. So apart from like all these type of the things is also the automations and the repetitions task. So we can use the finance, because even normally mostly we use the inside the finance, because finance में हमारे पास human errors बहुत हो सकते हैं. Like इनके जो से टास्क होते हैं बहुत ज्यादा क्रिटिकल होते हैं, लाइक द नंबर्स एंड ऑल दीज थिंग्स, एंड दैट नीड्स टू बी द 100% accurate. So that's why we prefer to use the RPA for the repetition processes, anything that is going to be happen. Then inside the sales, like we have, whenever we are going to capture any type of the lead, we need to have a look to the responses. We need to add the details in our Excel sheet, check about the alerts if we are going to work on any type of the alerts, and even if we need to update our status. So all these things are repetitions as well. Inside the sales, we're able to use this one. Inside the IT, about the tickets. So even when I'm going to work in any type of the industry, we have some type of the tickets where we need to create the tickets that is going to be assigned to the specific person. After his approval, I get the email like this one is approved and now you can collect anything that you want. So this one is the complete whole scenario. That is the repetitions as well. So if we don't have any repetitions in this scenario, I need to manually write the email. I need to manually generate the email. Then the assigned person manually needs to click on the approve button and again send me the email. So that is the very big hassle. Like they need to do all the things manually again and again. Instead of that, we are able to create a one draft version and the one type of the default version of our email that will automatically send to any person that we want. Then after that, we have the daily reports, like how we need to schedule that, what are the emails for the morning, when we need to send them emails on the evening, whatever the scenario is. And after that, like auto emails attachment. Even if we need to make any type of the trackers, like what is the check-in time, what is the checkout time, and how I need to mention, calculate the total hours on that one. So all these things are possible with automation processes. So we are going to do a one type of the practical implementations about the Power Automate and how we are going to create. So this is one of the case studies and the scenarios that we need to develop today. So I just need to create a one simple form. So as an employee, I'm going to add some details inside the form that is going to be sent to my manager and whatever that person is. After his approval, I got an email like your thing is already approved and so on, and that data is going to be updated on my Excel sheet with the status like is that is the approved or the reject, whatever do we have. So this is the case study and we are going to create a one automation based on that specific case study. Okay, these are also the some steps and what are the problem statements. So we need to add all the things like manually expense records. Manually expense records mean we have to enter all the details on the Excel sheet manually about the implied details and is that is approved or not, whatever they have. The complete emails, amount, reasons, all these things. This one is the status, like we need to update the status manually. All these things are manually. I'm just going to do that automatically. So we don't need to be worried about the Excel sheets and the complete trackers as well. Okay, before developing anything, before doing the practical thing, there are something that we need to follow, like what are the practices that we need to follow. Even as a programmer, we have the some practices in a for coding and whatever we are going to do, we have to follow all these practices. So as I already told you, like this is the low code one. It's mean we have the multiple type of the activities. So we need to give them the complete flows and the like the proper name according to that scenario. And after that, we have to put some alerts, like we are just going to give them some specific alert. If that scenario is not going to be happen, so that alert message going to be sent to my own email and the designated person, whatever do we have. And we need to test all the triggers before trusting in the production. Like before going that to the production, we have to do the test and use the environmental variables. Like instead of creating any type of the statically, try to use the dynamically things and the environmental variable for the complete connections one. And these are the things, don't ignore failed runs. So whenever I will show you like how the history is going to be shown if we have any type of the failed runs. So we have to check if any of the run is the fail, what is the reason, like they gives us the complete output. And don't build overlay complex flow. So complex flow, like it's when it's not going to be make any type of the sense. So then we try to avoid it. Like it depends on our us which type of the logic we are going to create and how we are going to develop that flow. as a even in the Python and the other programming language, we are going to develop our own logic. Same in the Power Automate, we are going to develop our own logic. Like we are just aware of the scenario and the case studies. Then we need to make a logic by our own, like how I need to develop this complete scenario. And for the Power Automate, we need to buy some type of the licensing as well. So you need to be care about this one. And yeah, so on. So let's go to the practical example. Just give me a second. Okay, this is the structure of, yeah, it's good. Okay, this is the structure of the Power Automate, like what is the interface and how it works. And if I'm talking about the URL, this is the URL, make.powerautomate.com. Okay, so we just need to sign in with this Power Automate, and then you can go with the create templates learn. So this is the home. If I'm going to show you about the pricing, we have the licensing, so we need to buy a license according to our requirement and the business needs. It's yeah. Okay, we have the free trial if we need to use the trial. If we are going to buy any type of the premium one, it's the 11.50 pound per month. Okay, and these are all the things like how many type of the storage, because inside this, inside the Power Automate, they have their own database, so they have the storage as well. If we talk about the cloud, so inside the premium, they are going to allow us the cloud flow, they are going to allow us the desktop flow, and the Microsoft Dataverse. So that Dataverse is one of the you can consider this one of the database that is already attached with the complete Power Automate. So then we have the process automate flows. These are all the things that is available inside it, and then hosted flow. And inside the hosted, we have all these things are available. So it depends on our case study, like which we want to buy for our whole process. And after that, we have the one of the community forum for this one, the complete documentations. And if we need to talk about the request, let's go to the templates. So already we have some pre-built templates here available, like save Outlook emails attached to your OneDrive. So this is already some templates are available, but it depends on our own case study. Like it's not possible, like all of these templates are going to be fulfill our case studies and the scenarios. But if we need any, like for the any of the small task, we have some pre-built automation tools and the templates, you can use them and explore all of these. Okay, then if I will show you the create. So this is the create option. As already I told you, like we have the cloud one, we have the desktop one. So normally, and we have the schedule. Like if we need to schedule anything, like I want this process to run anytime at 9 p.m., 8 p.m., whatever do you want. So we are able to schedule anything that you want. And this one is the instant trigger. So I don't want create any type of the trigger, like as we already show you, like that for now the trigger is if any of the new email came with the attachment, my flow needs to be run. But here for the instant cloud flow, this is the manual trigger. If we need anything like the manually triggered, then we can use this one. For the schedule, if we need to schedule the specific time, then we can use this one. And this one is the design. If we need to design anything like the complete AI build of the structure and the flow design, this one is just the design. And then we have the desktop one, like anything with the clicks and about the keyboards, whatever do we have. So we can use this. Again, these are the templates that we already discussed. And these are all the approvals. Just give me a second. Okay, so these are all the flows that is already run because I already have some pre-built flows. So it just give me the complete history, like which one is already run, which one is sent, and the receipt, whatever do we have. Like these have the complete histories and when that flow is run, and yeah, who is the person, is that is approved or not, whatever do you need. And then we have the multiple type of the solutions. So inside the Power Automate, like we have a lot of the things that we can explore about this one. Like this one is the one of the cloud structure that we can use. Even we are able to create a multiple tables, multiple connections. If you need to create any type of the connection by your own, like any of the dynamic connection, then you can create that dynamic connections as well from here. Okay, let's go to the flow. So if I would just show you like this, these are already the pre-built template, sorry, the flows that are already curated. If I will show you just the interface, how it looks whenever we are going to create any of the flows. After that, we will do the practical one. Just let me open all these. Okay, it sounds like a one type of the flow charts or whatever like that. Yeah, these are the flows. So inside these flows we have option of the switch, so we can use the switch conditions. We have the condition option if we need to define any type of the conditions. We have the Excel where we can define all the things inside the Excel, like which Excel sheet I want to link. These are the form option as well, if we need to attach any type of the forms. If we need to develop any type of the variable, we can develop that as well. And yeah, okay, for the approval, so if we need to define any type of the approval, like that approval needs to be done from that specific person, so we can assign that to someone, and then we can create a one default email as well. Okay, so what left? Yes, this one. So these are all the things like we have inside the like Power Automate, and this is the simple structure that we can develop. So let me show you some other examples. Okay, and we have some compose if we need to create a one type of the structure and the scenarios. And even inside this, we can create the complete queries like that. Like what is the scenario and any type of the case studies that we need to develop, we are also able to create inside it. And the other option is the update. So here, if we want, we can add a new rows. And if we want any type of the updations, like the current row, I just want to update any of the information, then we can use this one. So this is the return scenario. Okay, it will give you the more wider. Okay, and here you can see, even if you want, you can create your own email, like after the complete approval and whatever do we have, we need to send the email like this with the specific person and information that we are getting from the employees. So if I will show you the history, just to have a look to this flow, this is the complete history about this one. So someone is still running, someone is completed, and if anyone is failed, then how we can share. Okay, now you can see some are failed here. If I need to check what is the reason behind this, I'm just going to click on that specific flow with the time, and they will give you like your flow is going to be stuck at that specific. Now you can see it gives me the error at this point and tell me like what is the specific errors that you have and what are the things that is going to be run here. So we are also able to check this one, the complete code view, because in the back end, like as this is the low code, but in the back end, we have some type of the codings as well. So we can check the code from the back end and also the complete output of that specific one. We have the input, we have the output. Just to evaluate, we have the multiple outputs as well. This one. So we can check the complete output just to double check like what is the specific reason of that specific flow. And even if that flow is failed, I will also get the notification email like your specific flow is failed at that specific time, because I define the complete scenario, like if anything is failed, that needs to be sent email to me directly. So let's create, like if we need to create anything right now, currently our scenario is just to create a one type of the approval scenario. So for that, I already create a one form. So inside this, employee is going to be add their complete details. On the other hand side, we have a one type of the Excel sheet, this one. Okay, so we get the complete details and the status, like is that is a pending, is that is approved, and whatever you have. So first, let's create the complete flow. I'm going to click on new flow. And this is the cloud based because I'm just going to make a connection between the Excel sheet, Outlook, and the Teams. So I'm just going to automate this one. And then we can write expense. So you can define the flow name as well. Then we need to define the trigger, like which trigger I'm going to use. So first of all, like our trigger will be whenever any of the employees going to fill that form. So that is my trigger. When anyone is going to be fill that form, after that the complete process is going to be run. So now you can see when a new response is submit. Even if I'm going to search about the Microsoft forms. Okay, there are multiple type of the triggers. So you can select according to your scenario, like when new response is submit or when a form is submit, whatever you want. So for now, I'm going to select this one. When any of the new responses submit, this is my trigger, create. Okay, just click on that specific activity. And from here, we need to select the specific form. So this is my form name is employee expense request. So this one, I'm just going to select that form. Our trigger is done. Now whenever any of the form is submitted, that flow is going to be run, but I need a output as well, like I need a complete response details from that form. So I'm just going to write get response. And yeah, for the Microsoft one, we have these activities. So this one is the get response details. Even if you want to know more about that specific activity, you can see this action retrieve a form response. Whatever I'm going to get from that form, I automatically get from this get response details. So regarding the ID from the form, I'm just using the employee expense request. And then here for the response ID. So response ID, you can see, and whenever I'm going to click on this one, or even I'm using this one like the backslash, I go two things: insert dynamic contact, or if I need to create any type of the expressions. So currently I'm just going to link this with one of the dynamic content. So first one I'm going to select, and then this is the response ID. So this ID is going to be linked with that specific form. So I'm just going to make a connection that I need all the details from this specific form for now. Just save this. Okay, after the save, currently we just test these two activities, like is I'm going to get any of the output or not. Okay, it's saved now. So I'm just going to fill this form randomly. And then you can define any of the amount, the reason, and if we need to upload any of the file, just submit this. And if I will go back to the flow history. Okay, now you can see the complete flow history. I'm going to click on this. Okay, the first one is done. For the second one, I need to check the output. So for the output, you can see I have a details, like if I will go down. Okay, here you can see this is the complete details. It's mean they are going to get the information from that specific form. So this one is just a testing if we need to test like that activity is working for me. So it's mean I have the complete details from the specific form. The next thing that we need to do is about the approval. So whenever I'm going to get any of the information from here, that approvals automatically needs to be sent to the manager and whatever the person is. So here I'm going to click on this one. And for the approval, start. Okay, so these are the some activities for the approval. Like the first one is start wait for the approval. It's mean any form is submit, approval notification is sent to that specific person, and we need to wait until that person is going to be approved. The next one is that approval is only of any type of the text, and the last one is they are going to create approval. So for now, I'm just going to select the first one and going to wait for the person. Then here you can see approve or reject, like everyone must approve or reject. So I'm going to click on this. Then I need to create the title. This one is expense claim. This one is the title. So assigned person, it's mean for the assigned person I need to assign one of the email. So I'm just going to use the email. Okay, so I'm going to use, okay, so I'm just going to use my own email to assign. And if you want to create any details like who person is going to be send you details and all these things, then you can use this one. I think so I have a one structure. Okay, just let me create a one of the static information. Okay, so I need the employee name just to define like that specific employee name is going to be claim amount. So I just click on that dynamic, and from the forms currently I have all these informations. I'm going to write employee is going to claim amount. So my amount is, okay, that's it. Like I'm just going to define this one. So whenever the manager is going to be get the notifications, he's going to be get this information as well. Like that specific person is going to be claimed that much amount. So even if you want, you can just make it more professional later on. So these are all the things. Enable the notifications. Enable means I'm going to get the notification on my Teams whenever is there's any approval. And enable reassignment. So if I get the approval and I want to reassign that to any other person, it's allowed as well. If you want, you can just click on the no if you don't want to reassign that to the third person. So but for now, I just reassign it. This one is done. So after that, I need to define a one conditions, like because this is the approval, so I need to define if that outcome is equals to the approval. So the specific what to say, that any type of the output and the status needs to be updated from here. So currently you can see this is my output, but inside the status I have nothing because this one is not approved yet. So the current scenario is if that output is going to be approved, my Excel sheet needs to be updated and upon email is going to be sent to the employee. This is the one scenario. So first of all, I'm going to define the condition. This one is the conditions. So inside the conditions, you can define whatever the condition is. So I'm going to click on this and outcome. So here you can see the outcome. Outcome means anything that we are going to get after this one. So even that is the approve or the reject. I'm going to click on the outcome is equal to. So here you can see we have the multiple option like N2, not N2 equal, whatever you need. I'm going to write approve. So if the outcome is equals to the approve, then we have the true and the false. Like this one is something like the if else conditions that we can use. So inside the true, I'm going to create another activity. So firstly, I'm going to just simply use the delay. That is like the 10 to 20 seconds. So I'm going to write 20. And from here, I'm going to define the seconds. So why I'm using the delay? Just to run this flow like more appropriate. If like in future, if I have any type of the request like 100, 200, so that time my complete flow is going to be stuck. Even the server is going to be down. So just to make all the things properly work, I'm using the delay. And then I'm going to write the update or even I will show you the Excel activities. Okay, these are all the Excel activities like if we need to add any type of the column, if we need to get any of the worksheet, update a row, run the scripts, and create the table, delete any row. So these are all the activities. For now, I just want to update a row. So I'm going to click on update the row. On the other hand side, instead of this, if I'm using, I will show you another thing. Instead of this, if I'm using add row, this one, it will going to be add this separate row. But my current scenario is I don't want to add the next row. I just want to update this specific column, even when it's going to be approved. So let's go here. I'm using the update row. So inside the update row, first of all, I'm going to select OneDrive for Business because this one is inside the OneDrive, this complete Excel sheet. Then for the library, again, I'm going to use the OneDrive because I'm not using my personal anything. So then from here, I need to select the file. My file is expense imply report. Let me select it again. This one, I'm going to use this activity, and then the table. So if you go to your Excel sheet and click on the top, there's a one table design. Inside the table design, you can see what is the table name you have right now. Even if you want, you can edit it, but for now our table is office forms. I'm going to select this table, and regarding the column, so I'm going to update the information. So information needs to be updated by specific ID, because if I'm target the employee name, sometimes 2 and 3 employees has the same name, sometimes maybe it's not like that, but maybe any of the email is going to be same and whatever, but most preferable is the unique IDs that we used. So currently I'm just going to target the ID, and then from here, response ID, this one. So this response ID is going to be get from the form. They are going to just double check what we have, like key and the column. We have the one specific ID, and based on that ID, they're going to update the column. So suppose inside my output like this, my ID is 2. They are going to simply check from the Excel sheet where we have the ID 2, and then based on that ID, they're going to update the status column. Okay, now if I will show you, these are all the columns is currently available inside my Excel, but I just want to update the status. So I'm going to click on this, and here you go. You can see I have the status column. I'm going to simply click on the approve. That's it. Okay. After that, I want to send email as well to the specific employee. So I'm going to select the Outlook. Mm, okay. So for the Outlook, sorry. Okay, this one is if we need to send any type of the email, we have these options. And this one is the send email as well. Currently, I'm working with the Outlook, so I'm using this activity. We have the Gmail activities as well. So to whom I need to send this. So I just need to define the person. And then we need to define the subject. So your expense is approved. Okay, inside the body, if you need to write any of the text like, hi, I need to define the person name. So if I will go to the, even if I'm going to search for, okay, this one is the employee name. So I'm just going to define the employee name, your expense. So for him, the expenses are this one, expense amount is approved by line. So just create a one of the email, and then we need to define the specific person. I'm going to use the dynamic content from here. So for the dynamic content, here you can see whenever employee is going to be fill the form, they are going to enter their email as well. So instead of writing the email statically, I'm just going to select employee email from here. And here you go. We have the complete details. Like I need to send email to that specific employee, expense approved, and this email needs to be sent. That's it. On the other hand side, if that one is going to be rejected, still I need this status to be updated. So if anything is rejected, again, first of all, I'm just going to use the delay. On the other hand side, if you want to copy any action, we have the option of the copy actions. Okay, and then paste it here. So this one is going to be copy. And if you want to change the name, like I want to change this to reject, we can change the names as well. So all the activities, if you want, you can change all the activities name. Then again, I'm going to update. simply select the OneDrive because I'm using the OneDrive this time. Then I need to select the file needs to be the same. Then we have the office table, column is unique ID, and then if I'm going to the statically response ID, so this is one of the response ID, and currently I just need the status. So at this time the status is rejected. Okay, just save this. And even for the rejected, you want to send any of the email, you can do that. So let's fill the form again. Expense is 200, reason fuel. Just submit this. Okay. So now you can see in the activities, I just need to wait for the notification even inside the approval, because here we have options for the approval. So we get the approval notifications. And if we need to, now you can see currently it's running. If you want to run, check the flow on the runtime, like where it's going to be run for now. Currently it's in the approval format. Okay, no, this one is not. Okay, this one is the expense claim. So here you can see they write the employee name and is going to be claim 20. Okay. On the other hand side, as I already told you, like we have the option of the reassignment, and then if here you can see this the reassign. If I need to reassign this to anyone, if I want to reject, I can reject it. If I want to approve, I can approve. So if I'm going to click on the approve button for now, so this is approved. So this is the fuel. And on the other hand side, we can get the email. So it sometimes took like 1 or 2 minutes just to run the complete flow. So now we are inside the condition. They simply check is that is approved or not. Currently it's delayed for now. Then they are going to update a row. If you want, you can remove this delay. So if I will going to be check the emails. Now you can see the status is approved because I just fill this form and they can double check this one. After that, we are going to be get the email. So what was the email I used here? Okay, so I need to check on this email. So let's go and open the Gmail account. Okay, here you can see. So I got this email like your expenses approved and you're going to get this specific details from the manager, whatever to have. On the other hand side, just test if anything is going to be rejected. So again, I'm going to test it and go back to the edit. If you want, like just for the testing purpose, we have an option of the test. So I'm going to click on the test. If you want to do the manually trigger and automatically trigger is going to be the recent one. So I'm just using the recent trigger and going to test it again. And just wait for this one. Okay, now I got the notification. Again, go back to here. Then, okay, this time I'm going to reject this. If that is rejected. So let's wait for the condition, and this time that needs to become to the false side. Okay, just double check the row. Now you can see it's simply updated and reject the same one because I didn't add any of the new entry. So they are going to update the same row that I already entered. So this one is the simple flow that we can create it. Even if you want, like we just need to click on the, let's go to the edit again. So you just need to click on the plus button. We have a lot of the activities, even for the desktop, Azure DevOps, and all the applications that you want to work. Just you have to create the scenario, and then you can simply use whatever the activities and the flows that you need to create. So again, go back to the Okay, so if you need to test any of the Power Automate, this is the specific link. On the other hand side, if you want to do some more study and learn about this Power Automate, this is the link specifically. And inside the Power Automate, we have the multiple type of the community templates that you can use. And the last thing that I want to show you, like if you want to do any type of the specific and the professional licensing about this, so we have different one like PL 900 and PL 400 and the 200. Like these are all the professional certifications for the Microsoft that is like preferable to do if you are going to work as a Power Platform developer. So inside the Power Platform, we have the Power Automate, Power BI, Power Apps, and yeah, all these things are available inside the whole Power Platform. So these are the certifications that you can do. So far, this is from my side. Any questions, guys, from your side? Just going to stop the screen.
First of all, thank you very much, Areej. This was such an amazing session. अगर किसी को कोई query है तो they can simply ask by turning on their mic या chatbot पे जो है वो query को type कर लें.
और इसकी अगर मैं इंडस्ट्रीज आपको दोबारा बता दूं तो फाइनेंस, बैंकिंग, multiple like insurance companies and even in the hospitals. So there's a lot of the large industry for all of these, the Power Automate and the RPA developers in all these domains.
Very right. I guess कि कोई किसी का कोई query नहीं है because this was very interactive. No, I don't think कि इतनी interactivity के बाद भी कोई query होगी. And thank you very much, Areej. And thank you very much for the session, Areej. Yeah. So we have some kind of appreciation in the chatbot.
Thank you, Sameha.
So thank you very much, Areej. I guess let's wind up this session. And first of all, thank you very much again. And thank you very much everyone who joined this workshop. So see you next time.
Thank you.